Now, before we get started, I would really love it if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get the latest content from the YouTube channel, The Last Rewind. And don't be shy about leaving your comments at the bottom of the page because you are the sole reason why this channel will be successful. Thank you. Hey, welcome back to The Last Rewind with your host, Big Red. And before we get into today's show, make sure and hit the like and subscribe button so you can get future episodes of The Last Rewind. Now, what I'm going to get into, I'm probably going to be very divisive with this. Starts with an N, nepotism. What you saw happen in the NBA recently with Bronny James, aka LeBron James Jr., LeBron James' son. He was selected in the second round, 55th overall, to go to the Los Angeles Lakers. It was a foregone conclusion, I think, to anybody who had a working, sentient brain that he was going to go to his daddy's team. Now, let me first get into this with nepotism. I do not have a problem with nepotism. I don't. It's going to sound like it probably in a few minutes, but I do not have a problem with nepotism. What I do have a problem is if you're underqualified and if you're taking that position from someone else. A perfect example of nepotism, which I do not hate, Rich Paul. Rich Paul, as we all know, tight with LeBron. He's an agent of a lot of NBA stars. Probably, I'm pretty sure he's an agent of Bronny James right now, but quite a full team of stars he has under his belt. I don't have a problem with that. Why? Because although LeBron put him in the position that he's in now, and that's great, Rich Paul went to college. Rich Paul went through the necessary steps to become an agent, a sports agent. He is very qualified to be in the position he's in. One of the top agents in the NBA, if not the top agent. That's something I give kudos to LeBron for. He helped out a childhood friend and pulled him up through the ranks with him. Nepotism is supposed to cut out the middleman and then put you in position to succeed, although you're supposed to go through other channels like studying or interning or seeing other people go through the same throes that you're going through to put you in a successful position. But LeBron is there to cut out the HR position, the home resources manager. He is the human resources manager. Tripping up on my words. He is the HR. So he cuts out the middleman so Rich Paul can be in a place to succeed easier than if he went through thousands of other people trying to get for the same job that he's trying to get. So I don't have a problem with nepotism. We know nepotism happens throughout the world. That don't mean we should agree with it, but we know it happens. A lot of times you hear the saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Well, I'll push back on that. It should be what you know, and also it should be who you know. Okay? Bronny James, he was not a qualified player to go to the NBA. That's why people are upset. The man was not even a star for his own team. The man averaged, because he's a man, he is 18, he's over 18 now, I believe now. He averaged only 4 points per game. What league would accept you as a first or second round draft pick based off of that? Is it based off of potential? What potential have you seen that Bronny James is going to be a huge or even a minuscule success in the NBA? If you're really being honest about it. But see, here's the thing. I don't think this is Bronny James's dream. I think this is LeBron's dream, or a bragging point, if you will. What am I talking about? The ongoing silent feud, if you will, because he'll never say it, that he has with Jordan. Comes back to Jordan. And before people say, well, what are you talking about? He doesn't hate Jordan. What are you talking about? He wears number 23. He idolizes Jordan. Where have you guys been sleeping at? Have you guys bumped your head? And if he doesn't say it, his fans, his peasants, if you will, because he's supposed to be King James. So the people who follow him everywhere he goes and every news source he has, check out this. Now, I don't have a problem with this picture here. Look at this. Somewhat, I don't have a problem with it. The chosen sons, you're already putting pressure on your sons to essentially get to the NBA. Now, he says it's only going to be Bronny James, but I have a feeling he's going to end up sticking around the NBA long enough to try to get Bryce in there. But okay, put your sons on the front of the cover, put their names out there. That's fine. Let me take this off because I can't see myself. Then you see memes like this. When Bronny James got in here, it's one of the first things I saw. LeBron accomplished something that Jordan never did. He's officially occupying 2 roster spots. How is that a brag? Is that a brag that you own the Los Angeles Lakers and you can make them do your bidding? That's not a talent brag. It would be more impressive if you're talking about how King Griffey Jr. and his dad, both of them got on the teams playing baseball. People who don't know who King Griffey Jr. is, both of them got on the team as father and son based off of skills. Maybe there was a little nepotism to get him on the team with him, but ultimately it was talent that got him on, because King Griffey Jr. was way better than his father, but they both were talented nonetheless. That's a great example of a brag. It's like, hey, no other father-son team can get on the team based off of talent, and that is great. That's generational talent that got on the same team as the father, and he passed those genes along. That's something you can look back on and be proud of. I don't know how you can be proud of something where you controlled how he got on the team. There was no one looking to get Bronny James on the team. No one. Even when Rich Paul said, well, if you select him in the draft, whatever these imaginary teams were, he's going to go play in Australia. I wish somebody had took the bait and tried to draft him. And actually, maybe that would have been great for him. He could have developed a little bit more playing in Australia somewhere. That's the thing I hated. Not the kid. I don't hate Bronny James. I don't hate that guy's son. He didn't go through the full steps. He didn't develop into a good player, then go to the NBA. Then if LeBron James had used his power to get him on the team, that's fine. But he doesn't even, from what I have seen, doesn't even not just belong on the Lakers, but on an NBA team. The NBA, or sports in general, is supposed to be one of the last standing meritocracies we have in this country. But that is starting to go away because it seems like it's entertainment over merit, because that's all people are going to talk about the next NBA season. We can't wait to see that moment where LeBron and Bronny take the court. Flash bulbs will be going off. People will be posting it left and right. And then people will somehow come at Michael Jordan because of this. Doesn't quite make any sense. I tell you what else doesn't make sense. Let me see if I actually have it up here yet. Thought I had this picture up here, but I'm gonna put it up here later in post. I'm not gonna post that one. Marcus Jordan, who is Michael Jordan's son, if you go look at his stats, he had better stats than Bronny James. He averaged 8 points a game compared to his 4, but yet somehow Bronny James is supposed to be better. You know, sometimes as a father to a kid, we probably want to have our kids, our sons, or daughters work with us if we can put them in position with us to succeed. That doesn't mean that our children want to work with us. There's other avenues that they can succeed in. Marcus Jordan, he's working with his dad, but he didn't try to work with his dad in a basketball court. He has his own lane. His daughter has her own lane, which nepotism, pulled her in. No denying that. Again, no denying nepotism exists. Nepotism is not a bad thing, but be qualified for it. That's all I'm saying. Because there are people in the NBA right now. They are playing Giannis and his brother. I'm sure nepotism brought him to the Bucks. But his brother, let's be fair, when Giannis was on the Bucks, he was not a great player yet. When he got drafted to the Knicks, his brother, that is, he used nepotism to get him on the team. He used nepotism to get him that Nike deal, shoe deal. It's like, hey, if you're going to give me a deal, you're going to get my brothers along here with me. I get that. Now, do they deserve the shoe deal based on what they've done so far? I don't agree with that. But again, that's where it seems like we're destroying the meritocracy that is sports. That is what I have an issue with. Of course, Jenny Buss, she didn't get in a position without her father putting her in a position. But she also was trained to do that over time. They just didn't throw her to the wolves, when she just got out of elementary and say, all right, you run the team. You've seen me run it. I haven't trained you, but since you're family, you run the team. You got it in your blood. No, she was trained for the job. Now, although it doesn't seem like she's doing a great job so far, she was trained to fulfill the position. That's all I'm saying. It's not a flex to me. If somebody says, well, how did you get your... That's not even a flex for the son. How did you get your job? My daddy gave it to me. It's because of your skills? No. My daddy gave me the job. Oh, okay. Fine. And then I hate when people are going on and on about saying, hey, other people are doing it, trying to frame it for the LeBron Bronny situation. Other people are doing it, so why can't we? That's a horrible argument because someone else is doing it. That's why I should do it. There was another ism that used to happen a long time in the NBA, and a lot of people were doing it, called racism. They were keeping black players out of the league decades ago, early in the 1900s. So, but just because a lot of people were doing it, we should continue doing it? Or should we get rid of the necessary evil or unnecessary evil, and integrate the sport, integrate the league? We seem to have chose the latter. Nepotism doesn't have to be around in the far spectrum where we just putting people in position who are not qualified to be in the position. I know it happens in politics and sports and every kind of job there is in the world. That doesn't mean it's right. That don't mean we should agree with it. But I digress. Let's also not forget that Bronny James is taking a spot from another deserving NBA player. There's a lot of players that got skipped over that should be in his position right now, that have played their butts off and went through the necessary channels to get to the NBA. They went undrafted. I feel sorry for them too, because when people are talking about, you can't be talking about LeBron's son. He's his child. How dare you talk about someone's child? You don't think these other college players that came to the NBA undrafted are someone else's child either? They deserve a spot, right? They're all someone's child. That's a horrible argument. Bronny James could be doing anything he wants to do because his dad his generational wealth is beyond what any of us know. He can choose any job he wants and his father can set him up. Qualified, he can be that for any job. He could run his shoe business. He could run, help run Rich Paul's, team agency or something. Anything. He could set him up for any type of job he wants with his generational wealth. Because let's say one thing that people tend to be forgetting about. When people are like, oh, stop hating on him. He just wanted his son to play on the team. Let's not forget that this guy, a grown adult, Bronny James, had a heart attack. A heart attack at 18. That is unheard of. If I could put my child in a position to succeed where it will not bring about that same thing that put him out and possibly took him away from this world, I would do that instead of trying to fulfill my own ego and say, hey, I did something Jordan couldn't do. Or, hey, I got to play got to play on the team with my son. Plenty of other things he could do. Or he could just sit back and live lavishly with his dad's money if he wanted to. I would not put his life in jeopardy just to add something to say at the Hall of Fame ceremony. And then the people who are also saying, stop hating on Bronny James. He's fulfilling his dream, or he's fulfilling his dad's dream. Sports, I said, is a meritocracy. And for the people who are watching the Los Angeles Lakers, what if this happened all the time? Where, the general manager or the owner were to put their sons or nephews or whatever on the team and they weren't qualified and the Lakers sucked. Would you have a problem with it then? Or would you be like, oh, good job. The Lakers are allowing the general manager or the owner's team to live out his dream. And they're stacking the team. The starting five is full of everybody that was at the family picnic last year. Would you be saying, oh, well, it's nepotism, let it happen? Or would you be mad that they're not putting qualified players on the team? I was on this podcast the other day called the Format Podcast, ran by Bruce Hope. It's also on YouTube. Check it out. And we were talking about this very subject, and I came to a realization. The Los Angeles Lakers have turned into the Dallas Cowboys. And what do I mean by that? The Dallas Cowboys have been living in futility for over 25 years because it seems like Jerry Jones, the owner, has chosen entertainment over championships. He wants to be in the forefront. He wants to be in front of the camera. He wants to be at the news stories and the press conferences. He wants to control what the coach is going to say or do. He wants to be the general manager. He wants to be the entire reason why the Dallas Cowboys win. He wants to be the entire reason why anybody talks about the Dallas Cowboys. And what has it resulted in? Early playoff losses or no playoffs at all. The Lakers, besides that bubble championship LeBron had 2020, what have they done? LeBron, it seems like he's the owner of the Lakers. People are happy just to see him get to the 8th, 9th, 10th, or 11th seed or 12th seed over championships. And that's all they seem to do is talk about the Lakers every daggone week. And they're last place in a playoff position. And let's not forget, a couple of those seasons, they wouldn't even gotten to the playoffs if it wasn't for the play-in tournament, which is new. Is that what Los Angeles has grown to be proud of? Or let's not forget the play-in tournament. Or there was a time where people clamored to come to Los Angeles. They wanted to play in LA and play in the bright lights in front of celebrities and Hollywood's best. Klay Thompson just turned down a contract to go there. I'm pretty sure even Paul George, a couple other players that were in the free agency had a chance to go play with LeBron. Nobody wants to go there because they see what it's all about. It's entertainment. It's not about championships anymore. And LeBron owns the Lakers, basically. And they are the new Dallas Cowboys of the NBA. And that's where we're at now. And if the Lakers fans are happy with that, be happy living in a life of mediocrity. All for the sake of nepotism. I'm going to wrap it up here. This is the end of The Last Rewind. I thank you guys for joining in. Let me know what you think in the comments, whether you agree or disagree. And please make sure to also, again, hit the like and subscribe button. And I will see you on the next episode. Peace.